thought with the Great Resignation, all these companies hiring, that the power was on us. We had the power. Even to the point where during the Great Resignation, people were ghosting jobs, ghosting employers. They would have offer over here, offer over here. They would start this company over here, get the laptop. Next thing you know, they wouldn't show up. Keep the laptop and all. I did an article on that one, a video on that one. And I asked some of you guys if you were those people that were ghosting employers, because it comes back to burn you. Now that the economy is where it is, you won't be ghosting employers anymore. You won't be ghosting employers anymore, especially if you're in the U.S. Because you thought that the power was in your hands, but that at the end of the day, the power is with the people who's paying you. The power is with the people who is a customer. I don't care if you're an entrepreneur. The power is with your customers, because if you lose a customer, you're losing money. If you're working for someone, an employer, a Google, a Microsoft, don't think you have the power. The power is with them because they're paying you. And many people had that twisted. Now they're saying, God damn. Now they're doing this as well. They're banging their hands on the desk, angry, upset. I made a mistake potentially. I made a mistake switching over to that company. I probably should have sat still. Guys, we were wrong about the Great Resignation, they say. Workers are still powerless and a looming recession will make it worse. Look at her. She's a bit defeated at this point in time. I look at her and I say this. God damn. Over the past years, workers have been quitting and switching jobs at a near record high. The Great Resignation helped some workers gain more power, more money, more benefits. Absolutely. Get that bag, guys. But those gains have mostly benefited a selected few. Our economy won't last and won't allow this to last. And you're seeing it right now. So Isabella Dane got a new job this year and said she was able to command a higher price point. She went from making, let's just say, $100,000 a year to $150,000, making that big money, big money. Now she regrets making the move, and we'll tell you why coming up. But now the East Coast IT worker who asked that her and her employer's name or their real names be kept anonymous isn't so sure it was the right move. So she's not the only one kicking herself for joining the Great Resignation. 26% of the 628 job switchers that Jobless surveyed in June said they regret quitting their last job. And 42% said their new roles have not lived up to their expectations. Damn! So you thought the grass is greener on the other side. I'm getting a little bit of money and so forth. Oh man, you know, I increased my income. I can go out there and buy that Mercedes, that BMW, that Tesla. You switch over to a company like Tesla and all of a sudden they lay people off. You order 2 Teslas, they lay people off. You have to cancel your orders. You working for Tesla, they say, get your ass back to the office. And you say, God damn. Now you have to sit in traffic, hour each way. You no longer have the flexibility that you once had. So Dane said her new job isn't a good culture fit for her. The job requires her to work in an office every day, despite the firm telling employees that it was moving toward providing employees with more opportunities to work from home. Now they're saying, get your ass back to the office. And some of you guys are like this. And here's the thing. If you don't get back to the office, what are you going to do now? What are you going to do? You're going to be fired? You're going to be terminated? You're going to put yourself out there to the market? Well, guess what? If you do that, are you going to get the salary that you were making? Are you going to get a higher salary? Do you have the skills to demand a higher salary? As I mentioned, I'm coaching people who are getting offers and they're asking for $15,000, $30,000 more. 6 months ago, a year ago, that was an easy ask. Now today, companies are like, nope, I'm tightening up my belt. This is what have a budget in our budget, and I'm not stretching that any way at all. You either take it or you're not part of the team. You take it or you're not part of the team. So that's the question, or that's what I want you guys to ponder. I want you guys to ponder before making your next move. Is it worth it? Is it going to be worth it for you? Are you going to get the money? Is it going to be a good culture fit? If you get the money, is it going to be a good culture fit? Are you going to have the visibility? Are you at risk of getting terminated? Are you at risk of being laid off? Think about this before you make that move, because it's going to be critical it's going to be critical for you to do the research before you make a move, because companies aren't just throwing money out, and companies aren't just hiring people like they were a year ago, 8 months ago, 2 years ago, and so forth. She says her new job isn't a good culture fit. The job requires her to work in the office every single day. Let's just say she moved out there in the boondocks to gain or to have access to nature and to have more space, like many people did. Now she has to commute to the office. Yeah, she's getting paid a lot more, but she's frustrated every day, she says. She's in her late 30s. I don't have the power to do anything about it. She can't leave. If she leaves, she may not get that salary anymore. She may go to another job that's requesting her to be in the office every single day. But one of the reasons she left, or she left her previous role, was because she felt easily replaceable. And many of us feel like that. But even after doing what millions of workers have done to try to assert their own power, quitting for more money and better workplace benefits, her new job hasn't measured up to her expectations. The new job may not measure up to your expectations. So just think about it. I'm not saying don't apply to new roles. What I'm saying is just make sure you do the research. Because if you already have a remote work or a job where you have the visibility and you are working remotely and you're providing value, and let's just say you're making 100 grand, but you put yourself out there on the market and you're making, or they haven't given you an offer for 115. Do you know what their work from home policies are? If you have to work from home because you need to be there for your kids or pick your kids up, whatever it is, you might want to stay at your company. You might want to stay at your company, no matter what this company says. This company can say, you know what, remote work, 100%. We're not changing that. Well, you go over there, new CEO can come in. Get your ass back to the office. Then you saying this. God damn! That's what Dane is saying right now. She made the wrong move. She made the wrong move. Unfortunately for Dane and the millions of other recent job hoppers, the window of power could be closing as fears of an economic slowdown loom. The Great Resignation or Great Reshuffle has been hailed as the reclamation of workers' power, including by this publication. But as recession fears throw cold water on the excitement of saying, I quit, economists told Insider that the truth about the Great Resignation isn't as rosy. Only certain workers have gained any true bargaining power. And even though the lowest wage workers have seen raises, soaring inflation has largely canceled them out. As the economy and wage growth continues to cool, they'll be the first to see the upper hand slip away. So guys, just think about this. Think about this. You only have power when there's pressure on the employer to bring in people, when things are going good, as we saw 2 years ago. Growth. You have power then. Now, there's been a slowdown. Companies are tightening their belt. They're working out now. They're saying we need to become more lean. You don't have that power anymore. So just think about this when you're on the market, when you're asking for more. Negotiate. Do negotiate. I want you guys to negotiate. You must negotiate your offers, but don't be surprised if you don't get what it is that you're expecting, and you may have to reset your expectations. Do the research, determine if the move is right for you. If it's not, don't worry about taking it. If you say no, that doesn't mean that they're not going to come back a month later and say, I'll give this to you, when they realize they can't find the right talent. Don't be afraid to say no. I've done it many times, and I can tell you like this, I've gotten higher offers a year later, 6 months later by the same company. Okay? All right.